And this week on Make America Green Again, Edwin and William are coming from South Bend, Indiana, as they attempt to teach the Hoosiers of Indiana how to recycle. Let's take a look.
Recycling is essential, Will.
I agree, Ed. Especially here on a college campus, we, as members of Make America Green Again, must enforce a more strict policy for recycling throughout the tri-campus community.
It seems like a necessary initiative, for far too many reusable materials are ending up in landfills and as litter because of a failure to recycle. However, we can combat this issue here at Holy Cross, a good starting point, by ensuring that recycling bins exist in dorms and that there is a dumpster designated to recycling. Well, this should be well within budget.
It's almost far too easy to throw everything away into one receptacle. Even worse, plastic bottles, styrofoam cups, potato chip bags, and all sorts of recyclable materials end up on the ground. A gap seems to exist between how much recyclable material exists and how much of it is actually recycled.
It's a valid observation. There is indeed a gap between the amount of recyclable materials and the amount which is actually recycled. Namely, 75% of American waste is recyclable, where only 35% is recycled. The rest is either sent to landfills or is incinerated, according to the EPA. Young men and women on college campuses throughout America have the opportunity either to initiate or to continue this cycle to help fill the gap between the recyclable and the recycled.
It seems to me that everything comes down to a choice, namely either to recycle, to throw everything into one receptacle, or to blatantly litter.
Back to your point, it is way too easy not to recycle. That's what we're here for, to inform America and to inform the student population of the reasons why it should recycle, and to make it easier for the students to recycle. Is something outside?
It looked like some sort of animal.
Well, let's see for ourselves, William.
Well, that's odd. I could have sworn I saw the creature around here.
Maybe you're seeing things. Let's go get lunch.
Wait a minute.
Second, please.
It's okay.
Doing well. Thank you for asking. My name is Eddie Donnelly from Make America Green Again. This is my partner, Will.
How do you do?
Good.
You are aware you are littering recyclable materials, right?
Yeah, my pockets were full.
Well, have you considered recycling?
Nah, I don't really think my efforts will make much of a difference. I actually read on the Huffington Post that 16% of non-recyclers said that they don't understand or believe in recycling, simply don't care about the topic of recycling, or forget to recycle. Personally, I think recycling is too difficult.
But to throw plastic, which is synthesized in a laboratory, into nature serves no immediate purpose, because it cannot decompose into bio-waste, which can be used by other organisms. Plastics will take anywhere from 500 to 1,000 years to decompose into their natural elements and resume in biological processes.
These recyclable materials are a result of industrialization. We need to be accountable for our industrial progress by recycling these materials that we created.
Yeah, I guess so. I never really thought of that.
It's him!
Who threw this bottle into my habitat? I thought it was food. Had my son found it, he could have died. Don't you know that what you do affects the population around you? don't litter, recycle this. Don't you know what can be made from this one bottle?
You know, J Squatch happens to be right. You can reuse that bottle up to 2 times. And then after that, it can be recycled and become polyester. Your next shirt.
Well, you see, I don't know what's recyclable and what's not, because I just usually take the easy way out and just throw everything in the trash. I don't have enough insight on the topic of recycling to know right from wrong. How am I supposed to know this stuff?
What, do you live in the woods? Pull out that smartphone from your pocket there, boy, and look it up on the internet.
Oh, you're right. Here's an article by Waste Management. It says I can recycle metals, paper, and cardboard products, glass, batteries, and bulbs, and other electronics, such as a cell phone.
There, look how smart you are. Or at least how smart your iPhone is. Here, pick this up.
Oh, look at this. Okay, you're right. Here's cardboard, a battery, aluminum, which is a metal. These are some things that can be recycled. You're right. And there's a water bottle, which can be recycled plastic as well.
Yes, you don't have to toss them in the dustbin, as long as you don't litter. Litter is one of the worst things you could do. Pollution is at its peak, and it gets worse each year with increasing populations. You humans don't seem to understand that you have been the cause of some of nature's most pressing issues. Each year, numerous animals are killed by all types of environmental pollution. Littering contributes to death as toxins in plastic and motor oils can poison wildlife. I live in a temperate deciduous forest biome, and you have clearly affected me. Don't you know that you affect other biomes as well?
Wait, biomes? I think I remember hearing about those in my biology class. Let me see if I can find anything. Oh, yeah, biomes are large ecosystems that occur around the world that are determined by temperature and rainfall. I remember hearing about pollution affecting the open ocean biome specifically. Here, I found an article. It states, common man-made pollutants that reach the ocean include pesticides, herbicides, chemical fertilizers, detergents, oil, sewage, plastics, and other solids. Many of these pollutants collect at the ocean's depths, where they are consumed by small marine organisms and are introduced into the global food chain. Scientists are even discovering that pharmaceuticals ingested by humans but not fully processed by our bodies are eventually ending up in the fish we eat.
Yeah, and it doesn't only affect the open ocean, but the tropical rainforest biome as well. Dumping of trash and human waste into tributaries from overcrowded cities has resulted in serious pollution in many tropical countries. In some areas, rivers are no longer safe for human use, while plant and animal life suffers. Fertilizers and pesticides used in agricultural areas adjacent to forests can take a toll on rainforest wildlife. Once you harm one component of a food web, you ultimately affect the entire ecosystem, as the biotic and abiotic members rely on each other.
Wow, all this is eye-opening. You really sold me on recycling, but Holy Cross does not provide me enough resources to successfully recycle. I think it is because it costs too much for our little college. It's definitely worth the cost, but it should be a priority here. Let's ask our hall director why Holy Cross doesn't recycle and see what he says.
Yeah, let's go get him.
Hey everybody, here with Justin Sang, hall director of Holy Cross College. Just one question for you, Justin. Why isn't recycling more prominent on the campus? And why are there not as many resources as some other campuses?
Yeah, most things come down to finances and organization. So we have a pretty small staff on hand as far as maintenance, housekeeping, trash disposal, those kinds of initiatives go. So it's mostly a staffing issue if you wanted to talk about having more or more frequent recycle gathering. If you wanted to plug in with like the city to have them do it for us, which would be, would give us a lot more options as far as having multiple bins or more frequented empty recycle dumpsters, things like that, but that'd be a lot more expensive. So it comes down to finances. Holy Cross has always had to push pennies pretty far. We're good at that. Deciding what initiatives are most important and what are most realistic, and it's a large juggling act, and I'm obviously not on the very inside high circle of making those calls, but that's my understanding anyway.
Man, that has to be something we can do. I don't know. Maybe we could start a club at Holy Cross. You know, we can maybe be the Green Teens or something. We can just take all the recyclables here at Holy Cross and encourage as many people as possible to take them and bring them over to Notre Dame to be recycled.
That's a great idea. I'm proud of you, Kyle. Humans aren't that bad after all. Now go get more people and start a cycle. I'm out. Thanks, guys.
And so Kyle was forever changed on this day, the day of his encounter with the Sasquatch. He learned that the need for recycling is due to the industrialization of mankind, which has introduced to the world materials which serve no immediate purpose in our ecosystems. Kyle realized that, although Holy Cross has insufficient means for recycling, it is still necessary to carry on this cycle. Therefore, on this day, on the 20th of September 2017, Kyle became the first man ever to bring his recyclables to Notre Dame. So, following Kyle's footsteps, carry on this cycle.